We're living in weird times, and it seems like there's going to be just bad news coming out of the Xbox side of things. And to be honest with you, Microsoft has nobody to blame but themselves for this. So, at the end of the day, I honestly think that this is on them. I don't know for sure or what the deal is with this, or if it's something that Microsoft can do to kind of change perception on this. But this is a very interesting turn of events in terms of what I've seen from Microsoft and things like that. So, again, I think we have to kind of maybe still take this with a grain of salt. We'll see what happens. But according to this news, some publishers are reportedly questioning support for Xbox due to flatlining sales. And Microsoft is also planning to bring the majority of its games to PlayStation 5 at some point. So again, with a grain of salt. According to game industry biz head Chris Dring, who said his takeaway from GDC last week was that he thinks Xbox is in real trouble as a hardware manufacturer. And I quote, "The other thing I heard it from a very prominent company, and one not so prominent, was Xbox's performance in Europe is just flatlining. You can follow our monthly coverage in the games market, and you can see that Xbox sales are falling, and it's been falling all throughout last year, and it's falling even harder this year." The phrase one major company who released a big game last year said was, "I don't know why we bothered supporting it." We mentioned on previous podcasts that we heard retailers in Europe are considering or had already been cutting back their Xbox stock on their shelves, hardwares, games, that kind of thing. And now you've got third-party publishers going, we're putting a lot of effort trying to create a Series S version and an X version of a game when, to be honest with you, for us the market is PC and PS5. So last year, Microsoft admitted to having lost the console wars after consistently ranking third behind PlayStation and Nintendo in terms of sales since entering the market with the original Xbox in 2001. PS5 has outsold Xbox Series X and S by around 2-1 globally at the end of 2023, according to data shared by Grand Theft Auto publisher Take-Two. And in February, Microsoft delivered an Xbox business update, which did in fact confirm reports that it's planning to bring more first-party games to PlayStation and or Switch in the form of Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, Sea of Thieves, Grounded, and As Dusk Falls. Xbox has also reportedly weighed the idea of releasing Gears of War, Microsoft Flight Simulator, the next Doom game, Starfield, Indiana Jones on other consoles as well. And Phil Spencer recently told The Verge, "I don't think we should as an industry ever rule out a game going to any other platform." Dring continued with, and I quote, "And with Xbox putting some games on PS5, from what I understand, the majority of them will be coming across at some point, assuming it progresses as Xbox believes it probably will. I think Xbox is in real trouble as a hardware manufacturer," and that's what he came out of GDC with. So he also said, "I thought it would be fine, but then I didn't really factor in that some developers and publishers might just go, yeah, I don't, is there any point?" And that's when you can lose it. So again, this was a real worry for a lot of people in what was going on. Now, do I believe it 100%? I don't really know. To blame everything on two SKUs or whatever, I think, Microsoft did take sales a little lightly on their platform. They told people not to buy their console, and then they have Game Pass, which I think sprung up from a good place and is a really good value. But then I also think that we're sort of in this weird place now where a lot of people kind of have these expectations for, free stuff and instead of buying stuff. So wondering who it could be. I mean, Jedi Survivor launched last year. Maybe that didn't do great on Xbox. Hogwarts Legacy, maybe that didn't do great on Xbox. Maybe it was Street Fighter 6. That's a possibility that it didn't do well on Xbox. There's any number of games that they could be talking about. And we do know that there are some indie games that skip Xbox. Is this something that is going to be a pattern going forward? Microsoft is talking heavily about more hardware. It's just like, for me, I don't know what the point of more hardware is if your console isn't selling. And not only is your console not selling, but you're in a situation where people believe that you're going to bring your games to competing platforms anyway, right? Like as far as I'm concerned, once you started doing that, you're in sort of this weird situation where people weren't going to take your platform seriously anymore from that point on, and it doesn't look like that's really changed much. And what can Microsoft do to kind of change fortunes? I don't really know. Microsoft has limitless resources, limitless money, but it seems like they continue to kind of shoot themselves in the foot with a lot of this stuff. And at the end of the day, like I said, I've said this for a long time. What is the point of new hardware if you're not going to actually go out there and have it supported with exclusive? It's not like they're putting a lot of exclusives out anyway. So I mean, why would it really hurt them to put some exclusives out? I guess I don't really understand the thought process behind that whole idea right there. Like Microsoft themselves kind of are out there going, okay, well, we bought these developers to, get us some exclusive content and put us in the fight, and instead of giving them years, what it would took to earn back trust, they go out before they even had a chance and kind of say, okay, well, we're gonna start putting these games elsewhere. So I think that's a real problem, and to see like others kind of go on about it, I think it really could spell big issues for Xbox hardware, for Xbox fans. Just in general, seeing this kind of stuff happen, I think is not good for anyone across the board. I really want to see Microsoft kind of push the boundaries and do good hardware. If they're going to have a full-on next-gen console, great. Also a console that maybe a portable one, like something that's dockable or whatever. I think that would be something that could work out well for them as well, if you could take your content with you. But again, these things are still super dependent on being able to have some kind of exclusives along the way. If you don't have anything exclusive, then there's not going to be any reason to kind of go out there and buy that hardware, because let's say you're putting your stuff on Switch 2, then couldn't you buy Xbox games on Switch 2 and Nintendo games? If you're putting it on PlayStation, couldn't you buy Xbox and PlayStation games on the next PlayStation? Like, I don't know. So we'll see. What do you guys think, though? I think none of this is terribly good news, even in the rumor mill. And even if it's not good news, Microsoft has nobody to blame but themselves. I've said that repeatedly. Let me know what you think. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.